The most recent hip-hop controversy in Atlanta is going to blow up like never before, so hold on tight. Fans are going crazy over what happened when Kirk Frost and Yandy Smith were spotted meeting at a private hotel. However, that isn't even the most absurd aspect. Rasheeda left as soon as she discovered out, causing complete commotion in the hotel setting. Clips, screenshots, and insider disclosures are exploding on social media, giving Kirk a completely different image. Additionally, loyalty, trust, and the identity of the true manipulator behind the scenes are being questioned. The Atlanta hip-hop community is holding its breath as reports of covert chats, covert motives, and behind-the-scenes transactions are starting to surface, according to insiders, indicating that this was not simply a casual meal. Now, every social media analyst, cast member, and fan is on high alert, attempting to put together what actually transpired. Watch closely because this hotel confrontation will have far-reaching consequences. And believe me, you will be stunned by what you hear next. Just Rasheeda's response is starting a series of events that no one anticipated. Furthermore, Kirk and Yandy's meeting turned out to be far messier than anyone had anticipated. No one anticipated the tension in Atlanta's hip-hop culture to explode in this way, even though it had been simmering for weeks. Kirk, after being seen entering a posh hotel with Yandy Smith, Frost, who is well known for portraying himself as a loving husband and father, sparked instant speculations on social media. Images, timestamps, and even mysterious Instagram postings were swiftly put together by fans. And in a matter of minutes, the rumors turned into a full-fledged story involving treachery, concealment, and ulterior motives. According to accounts, the meeting inside the hotel wasn't informal. According to reports, Kirk and Yandy had a lengthy, heated debate that went on for more than an hour. According to employees who wished to remain anonymous, the atmosphere was tight and intensely concentrated, with Yandy displaying a cool-headed and composed manner, and Kirk apparently checking his phone frequently. This wasn't only a meet with peers in the business. The air was heavy with implied meanings. Hours before the meeting took place, Rasheeda, Kirk's wife, was supposedly informed about it by an informant. She allegedly confronted Kirk, sent a barrage of texts requesting clarifications. Rasheeda decided on the spur of the moment to drive herself to the hotel after receiving unsatisfactory responses. The hotel scenario swiftly turned into a powder keg as they were determined to see what was happening. According to witnesses, Rasheeda stormed into the lobby, clearly agitated, before requesting that security check on Yandy and Kirk. Her countenance, according to staffer, captured the gravity of the situation with a blend of rage, betrayal, and astonishment. This was more than just a rumor to Rasheeda. There may have been public shame. She also had no intention of being silent. Social media responded right away. Paparazzi shot videos of the hotel's facade began making the rounds on Instagram and Twitter, with descriptions that ranged from Rasheeda's live revelation to Kirk and hot water. Fans swiftly examined every aspect, including Rasheeda's hairstyle, the length of Kirk's stay, and the color of Yandy's attire. Everything was examined as proof of the drama that was developing. According to backstage insiders, Kirk and Rasheeda's conflict had been growing for months. Private conflicts, arguments about corporate transactions, and previous scandals had produced an A setting where trust was, at best, brittle. The hotel meeting seemed to be the decisive event, a single spark that might start a protracted simmering keg of powder. A dot. According to those close to the couple, Kirk supposedly set up the meeting to talk about a delicate business issue, but the outcome was terrible. The impression of secrecy with a fellow female business insider stoked internet. Rumors, curiosity, and fury, even if his motives were genuine. Yandy, who is frequently commended for her calmness and business sense, ended up in the middle of a controversy she might not have expected. Online fans instantly divided into camps. Kirk was defended by some, accusing Rasheeda of overreacting and asserting that the meeting was completely professional. Others denounced him, claiming that this demonstrated his dishonesty and disregard. The tale rapidly took over the internet, as seen by the popular hashtags #ChachashKirk exposed, Shasher Heaps, and Taker Yandy in the mix. When Rasheeda was allegedly denied instant access to Kirk and Yandy's room inside the hotel, the scene apparently became more heated. Despite security efforts to defuse the situation, witnesses said Rasheeda was unyielding. She wanted to know the answers, right now. Kirk allegedly tried to explain himself over the phone throughout the roughly 20-minute stalemate, but Yandy kept a composed demeanor and used her words wisely to prevent the situation from getting worse. In the meanwhile, images of purportedly private online chats between Kirk and Rasheeda started to circulate. Voice notes and messages, some purportedly doctored and some real, fueled the flames. Every word was scrutinized by fans, who saw timing, tone, and punctuation as evidence of adultery, misunderstanding, or treachery. The internet mayhem resembled the turmoil in real life, making it difficult to distinguish between rumors and facts. The surrounding cast was also impacted by the hotel disaster. According to reports, Jasmine Bambi and other hip-hop artists from Atlanta learned about the turmoil and started planning how to take advantage of it. According to insiders, Bambi apparently intended to stoke the fires even more, while Jasmine thought of publishing a few selected video to get the most attention online, making certain that the story would take over social media trends and headlines for days, or perhaps weeks. Rasheeda allegedly insisted that Kirk leave the room and meet her in the lobby, which was the culmination of the altercation back at the hotel. According to sources, Kirk paused while trying to soothe Rasheeda, but the situation's optics were disastrous. Witnesses said Rasheeda's departure was dramatic, her rage evident, and her choice to leave the hotel a message in and of itself. The video, pictures, and discussions that were released had already gone viral by the time the dust cleared. Fans discussed online whether Kirk's motives were harmless, if Yandy had any role other than being a business colleague, and whether Rasheeda's attitude was appropriate. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok were inundated with discussion, response videos, and memes, which made the issue even worse. Insiders said that this was far from finished, even though Rasheeda's dramatic walkout grabbed headlines. A chain reaction had been triggered by the hotel meet. There was no trust. Secrets that had been believed to be kept secret were now dangerously revealed, and alliances were called into doubt. From Kirk and Rasheeda to Yandy and the rest of the ensemble, everyone was compelled to play a high-stakes game of media manipulation and public perception. The crucial query loomed above Lanta. After this, could Kirk restore his reputation? Would Rasheeda be able to take charge of her story again? What part would Yandy play in this dramatic story? With followers following every action, discussion, and social media post, the course of one of the most talked-about events in recent hip-hop reality history would be decided by what happened next. It was more than simply a conference at the hotel. It was the start of a wildfire that would spread over gossip columns, TV screens, and social media. And leaving wasn't the end for Rasheeda. This was the start of a public reckoning that would leave everyone wondering what actually it took place behind closed doors. Not simply the foyer and the room where Kirk and Yandy had met were affected by the hotel meet. All around Atlanta's hip-hop culture, it took off like wildfire. Cast members exchanged panicked messages, texts, and phone calls in the minutes after Rasheeda left the show, according to insiders. The storm was getting bigger by the second, and some people were just watching in amazement, while others were planning how to use the situation to suit their own interests. Fans, meanwhile, were unrelenting on social media. Screenshots of Kirk purportedly leaving Yandy's room minutes later started to circulate along with clips of Rasheeda storming out of the hotel. TikTok. Every gesture, facial expression, and even the moment Kirk left was captured on camera. Reddit. Threads erupted with conjecture, ranging from Yandy obviously having a secret motive to this being the end of Kirk and Rasheeda. Instantly, memes appeared, and the storyline was bolstered by Instagram fan sites flooding their stories with response photos of Yandy, Kirk, and Rasheeda. Insiders also disclosed that the story was far more complex than it seemed on the internet. Kirk and Yandy reportedly met behind closed doors to talk about a delicate business matter involving a new joint venture. However, Rasheeda's previous knowledge, the meeting's secrecy, and the high-profile nature of the explosive situation was manufactured by the persons concerned. Kirk's effort to keep things private failed catastrophically. According to sources, he misjudged Rasheeda's intuition and the rapidity of information dissemination in Atlanta's close-knit hip-hop scene, adding fuel for the flames. A hotel employee who wished to remain anonymous reported seeing a heated argument in the corridor. Rasheeda's deliberate public declaration made it clear to me that she would not put up with disrespect or concealment. Cast members who weren't at the hotel, meanwhile, were already developing their own stories. According to reports, Jasmine, who had been paying close attention to the drama, contacted her contacts to obtain further video and insider information. For the upcoming episode, this is ideal. A production. Insider claims that she stated that Bambi never wants to back down from controversy. Is said to have contemplated making public a little excerpt from a private discussion she had with Rasheeda earlier that week in order to heighten the suspense and keep the audience interested. The public's response kept becoming worse. On some sites, hashtags like Siu Kirkot Taupida storms out and Yandy drama started to gain popularity. There were a ton of speculations, allegations, and contentious discussions in the Instagram and Twitter comment areas. While some supporters praised Rasheeda, praising her for standing up and refusing to be undercut, others agreed with Kirk, saying he was only going about his job. YouTube analysts got right in, dissecting the chronology of events and making assumptions about the intentions of all parties. Additionally, insiders alluded to a more intimate aspect of the dispute. According to people close to the couple, previous problems, such as reported financial disputes. The hotel meeting appeared significantly more scandalous than it may have been because of private decisions made over family concerns and trust difficulties resulting from past episodes. Although some saw Kirk's actions as strictly professional, Rasheeda's response was both reasonable and very theatrical given their past, which added even more suspense. Social media detectives started finding postings and remarks made by friends and co-workers that seemed to allude to the hotel's actual character. Correct. Many others shared screenshots of Kirk and Yandy's private chats, some of which were changed or partially obscured. The sense of scandal was heightened by the sheer existence of these purported leaks, even though authenticity was disputed. As if it were evidence in a high-stakes trial, fans analyzed every phrase, every emoji, and every time-stamp. In the meanwhile, a hotel employee allegedly had difficulties in maintaining situational control. Despite security's best efforts, maintaining order was practically impossible due to the emotional intensity, cameras, and passers-by. Witnesses said that Rasheeda would not leave until she had answers. According to production insiders, the timing of the hotel meeting was particularly harmful. And while Kirk tried to defuse the situation without adding to the public's sense of wrongdoing, Yandy, keeping her composure, reportedly decided to back off, aware that any mistake could spark an even bigger controversy. According to reports, the event happened a few days before, to a well-documented reunion episode, so viewers, cast members, and producers will unavoidably connect the drama to the next program. This sparked speculation on how the scenario would be presented if it would be addressed on screen, and whether any of the parties would take advantage of the disarray. As the evening rumors of more footage surfaced as time went on. Although its veracity was not confirmed, some sources alluded to a surveillance video purportedly showing a more private interaction between Kirk and Yandy. Private chats between Rasheeda and friends that disclosed her emotional condition and her intentions to publicly confront Kirk were among the other leaks, according to reports. Early morning fan pages, gossip blogs, and YouTube channels had already started posting countdowns and reaction videos, and the combination of video text messages and social media speculation created an unavoidable narrative that would dominate online discussions for days to come. The hotel meeting had changed, transformed from a private gathering into a public spectacle, with each action being examined and each response recorded. The stakes had never been higher for Kirk and Rasheeda. Furthermore, Yandy found that being thrown into the middle of this storm was difficult and necessitated cautious navigation, even beyond the immediate circle. According to industry experts, the consequences may affect upcoming partnerships, sponsorships, and public appearances. A complicated web that would affect both professional and personal relationships was produced by the optics of concealment, conflict, and public emotion. Every player in the hotel drama would have to deal with the fact that perception frequently prevails over reality in the era of viral media, according to analysts. One thing emerged as fans argued over who was right, who was wrong, and who may have been behind the scenes influencing events. This meeting at the hotel was only the start. With cameras filming, insiders leaking information, and social media highlighting every moment, the drama was far from done. The hip-hop scene in Atlanta was about to experience a series of spectacular surprises that would hold viewers' attention for weeks. Strategic scheming, public scrutiny, and personal betrayal combined to create a situation that went beyond typical reality TV drama. It was more than simply Yandy, Rasheeda, or Kirk. Fans and experts alike were enthralled by this masterwork of tension, suspense, and high-stakes narrative. The repercussions of the hotel meeting were only starting to materialize, and the reunion episode was approaching. By the subsequent, the whole Atlanta hip-hop scene was on fire in the morning. Every detail of Kirk's hotel meeting with Yandy and Rasheeda's public departure was being covered by news organizations, gossip blogs, and social media influencers. Fans were given a front-row seat to a controversy that appeared to become worse with every new sharing as every screenshot, video clip, and eyewitness testimony was analyzed and repeated. It was more than just a trending story. It was taking over feeds, generating a perfect storm of suspense, anger, and conjecture. The aftermath of the meet has left its imprint within the hotel. According to sources, hotel administration received a deluge of calls asking for video from interested visitors and media organizations. According to security sources, Rasheeda's emotional outburst produced a near-log jam in the lobby as a number of onlookers pulled out their phones to record the incident. Kirk allegedly made an effort to remain calm in the meanwhile, talking to Chu's manufacturing workers and insiders. However, whatever he said was closely examined and frequently misunderstood on the internet. On the other hand, Yandy, despite being in the middle of the storm, stayed remarkably composed. According to people close to her, she had planned her actions carefully to prevent needless controversy because she had expected this degree of attention. She anticipated this. According to an insider, Yandy is clever. She allowed Rasheeda to react while silently managing her own story, which increased tension as fans wondered if Yandy was responsible for the entire incident or if she had been more actively involved in intensifying the drama. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was already taking advantage of the attention. Multiple sources claim that she arranged a number of private interviews with producers and insiders to discuss her thoughts on the event. She allegedly stressed that her departure was a protest against disrespect as well as a response to secrecy, pointing to a lengthy history of purported betrayals by Kirk. According to production sources, Rasheeda occasionally broke down mid-conversation during these intensely emotional interviews, which further enhanced the story's unscripted, raw quality. Fans began to delve further into the history between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Yandy as the controversy grew, and leaked material from earlier episodes reappeared, revealing nuanced relationships, whispered talks, and intimate encounters that had been overlooked. Social media users carefully examined timestamps, hotel check-ins, and private communications, treating the matter like a detective case rather than celebrity gossip, making clips that were previously deemed inconsequential look important as viewers reinterpreted them in the context of the hotel event. Insiders claim that Jasmine, who had been observing from the sidelines, took advantage of the situation to bolster her position by contacting mutual friends and trying to obtain unique video that may be used as inspiration for the upcoming episode. According to a source, Jasmine thrives in this setting, and every drama gives her leverage, which she knows how to play flawlessly. She is actively influencing the story,